Hi, it's Dr. Darren Schmidt at the Nutritional Healing Center of Ann Arbor. This is a quick video on the value of low-carb eating, and this information comes from Dr. Benjamin Bikman, and I put his half-hour lecture below so you can click on it and learn all the details. But we're talking about two hormones. One's insulin, the other one's glucagon. And you know all about insulin. It causes fat storage, and glucagon is the opposite of this. These are antagonists to each other. So the glucagon hormone is the ketosis and fasting hormone where you lose weight and you get your health back. So if you draw your blood and you look at the ratio between these two, you could create a scale. And here when they're balanced, it's 1.0. And when you go into ketosis or do some fasting, the insulin goes down relative to the glucagon. So you have more glucagon, and the ratio between the two is now 0.7. So that's good. And then when you're eating low carb, you come out of ketosis, but you're still avoiding all the grains and sugars and high carby fruit, then your ratio is 1.3. So the insulin is a little bit higher relative to the glucagon. And during the standard American diet, with all the carbs and the sugar and et cetera, the ratio is 14. So there's a lot of insulin and very little glucagon. And then you throw in a steak, and now it shoots up to 70. So the standard American diet with all the sugar makes the steak bad. It makes the fat bad. And of course sugar is bad. It's always the sugar. And I did a video recently where 9 out of the 11 top food sources in the United States is sugar, grains, and low-fat food. So meat's never the problem. Beef, chicken's not the problem. And when you watch doctors online talk about how bad meat is and to avoid fat, if they really cared about your health, they would be saying avoid sugar, avoid desserts, avoid low-fat dairy. But they got their science backwards because they've been reading too much epidemiological research, which you can only hypothesize from that. You can't actually take any action based on epidemiological research because it's not factual enough. You can't get a fact from it. You can, though, from randomized controlled trials where you can actually state a fact such as sugar is bad or something like that. Okay, now if you're eating low carb and your ratio is 1.3 and now you throw in a steak, guess what happens to this number? It stays the same. So the body's using glucagon to make its own sugar, and that's called gluconeogenesis. But if you're eating sugar and your ratio goes up like this, then there's no need for glucagon because you're always feeding your body sugar. You're not allowing it to make its own. So the body will always keep a minimum amount of sugar in your blood, and then in the meantime, you go down here, you burn some fat away, and that's homeostasis right here. You go from 0.7 to 1.3, you go back and forth, in ketosis, out of ketosis. This right here is the ideal state of health, not this and not this. So there's the value of low carb eating. Thank you for Dr. Bikman. He has his own lab. He's been studying insulin in his lab, and he's come up with this fantastic information. So please watch that video below. I put the link. If you like this information, please give me a thumbs up, share and subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, please hit the bell for notifications. YouTube has admitted that you could subscribe and hit the bell and watch a bunch of my videos and yet not get a notification for new videos that I put out. So just do everything you can to get my notifications. I appreciate that. All right, thank you.